Welcome to EJH British Cars. Well, something a little easier today. We took the Herald out for Drive Your Triumph Day on February 10th and noticed that the brake lights weren't functioning. So I went through and checked it out, and it's got a bad switch. So I thought I'd show you that, but I'll show you a little bit of interesting stuff first. So here's the original switch, which basically is just succumbed to age. I mean, it is a 1963, so it's 60 some years old. It basically intermitted that unless you jiggle it, it didn't work. So just the contacts were corroded and all that. So these are available through NAPA Auto Parts. They're $38, I think, and this is all plastic. But I also found this. So it's slightly different. One thing, the pins are at 90 degrees to each other instead of parallel. But in essence, they're the same thing. Switch, same size thread roll, two conductors, normally closed. So when the brake pedal comes up and hits it, it opens the connection. And this was $13.29. And the part number is SL234. And they had it right on the shelf. So I'm going to go put this in, which is fairly easy. The early Heralds had the hydraulic switch, much like the TR3s, TR4s, or at least the earlier TR4s. But the replacement hydraulic switches have a tendency to burn out really fast. I have found that if you put LED taillights, that seems to cure that. So this car is 64, I think. So that means that it has a switch right here that is a mechanical switch as opposed to hydraulic, and that's the bracket that they added in these cars to put it. So it goes in there and the pin hits the back of the brake pedal. The brake pedal lets, when the brake pedal goes away, the pin goes to the open, normally closed position, turns brake lights on. Here's the old one, this white plastic. Here's the new one, which is metal. You can see it's a little bit longer, so I have to put two nuts on there so we can adjust it back and forth to make it fit correctly, but that shouldn't be a big deal because there's plenty of room for it under there. Well, correction. This is not imperial thread. This is 10 millimeters by 1.25. So I have to go find another nut, and then we're just going to set this nut at about the same distance the other one was, just for a starter point, and then adjust it till it works properly. And we have achieved brake lights. Yay! Both of them. A little hard to see out here in the bright sunshine, but there they are. And you can see it's in place. Turn underneath. Hopefully that'll see that. That's pretty nice. For, $13.29 is what that one costs, I suppose, plus tax, as opposed to $35. And this one's metal construction, and I tell you, the switch feels a lot better. I took this one apart. No, this is the other one. I had two of them. This is the one that was in the car. This is a later one. This one was marked as TR7, but this one's been apart before. That it just basically, these two metal tangs just go up and they're captured by the retaining nub right there that holds the clips together. And then there's a V with a flat on the top, and it just pushes down in between those prongs, so it's pretty chintzy, and the rest is all plastic. The only thing is metal in this are the actual contacts. And I put this one in, but when I let it run for a minute, you can feel everything eaten up because the contact was so dirty on the inside. So I just figured it's a pretty normal looking brake light switch for somebody that worked on a lot of 60s cars. I don't even know what this one fits, to be honest. Just that it's got that part number. So this is a NAPA Echelon, but that's a nice brake switch, a lot nicer than what these look like. So that takes care of that. The only thing left to do now is take it for a little test ride down to the corner and back. Not that I really need to, but it's always nice to, it's been sitting here for 10 days or so. It's always good to give it a little exercise. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment, and we'll see you next time.